like to thank you all for coming, not only to see me, but also to celebrate Gemma and Jay getting married.
Here we go.
I asked a very wise man, how long is the ideal length for a best man speech to last? And he told me that the best man's speech ideally should last the same amount of time as it takes the groom to make love. So thank you. I'm only joking, you can probably half that. Sorry, Gemma, what's that? Half it again? I'm standing here today representing the category of best man, a term which is unjustly appointed to me and is probably not deserved. Although it's a great honour, I'm not really the best man, I'm just a good guy. The best man today is, of course, Mr. Jay Goodwin, who's finally asked Gemma to be his wife. It's amazing the length that some people will go to quash those gay rumours. And I have to admit that I'm almost convinced myself now. And having lived with Jay, nobody was more suspicious than I was. After about... Jay had probably been living in my house for about 3 years. And I'm sorry to tell you this, Gemma, but one drunken night, Jay actually asked me to be his common law partner. And to be honest, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You know what Jay's like, he tried to laugh it off and say it was for the tax reasons. Just think how much money we're saving, that sort of stuff. But, even though he dressed it up as a joke, I was, as you can imagine, quite shocked by this. And it's difficult because how do you react to a situation like that? I know how I reacted. I just told him he was being silly and I rolled over and went back to sleep. Jay slept on the couch that night. As I said, it's a great honour being the best man at your friend's wedding. And with this role, comes the responsibility of writing a half-decent speech. And a few people suggested that I try the internet to try and make this task a little bit easier. And this seemed like a great idea, so with the multitude of resources at my fingertips, I sat down one night and began searching the web. And after a couple of hours I found some really, really good stuff. But then I remembered I was supposed to be looking for the best man speech idea. And it took me ages to close all those pop-up windows. But I did find a few really good speech ideas, but unfortunately none of them were about a couple called Gemma and Jay. So that was that. But Mr. Jay Goodwin was born on the 30th of June, 1977. And while I was on the internet, I tried to link this date to some major event that happened, but it seemed that nothing really of any importance happened. That was that. But John, Jay's dad, I actually, you may not know this, and I lived in John's house for about a year as a lodger. He once told me that the staff at the hospital where Jay was born all those years ago still refer to that day as Ugly Tuesday. In fact, Jay was such an ugly baby. Jay was such an ugly baby that the teachers at his nursery group, they used to push his face into dough so that they could make gorilla cookies for the other children. And John also told me that Jay was a bit of a slow starter at school. He was different to all the other 5-year-olds. He was 11. Now tradition states that I'm supposed to sing all the groom's praises and tell you all about his many good points. And those of you who know me will know that I can't sing, and I'm not going to lie for anybody. I'm joking, of course. I admire Jay for many reasons. Jay moved into my flat as a 20-year-old bloke a little while ago now and took up the position of head lodger. And he'd only been living there a few days, and he told me that he wanted to donate his body to science. And he spent the next 4 years working very hard to preserve his body in alcohol. And it's also traditional to go on and on about all the groom's ex-girlfriends and the number of lovers he's had. And frankly, I find that kind of male macho nonsense vulgar and slightly offensive to the bride on her wedding day. So, Jay, now that you're married, can I have number 72's phone number? But on a more serious note, I believe that getting married to Jay is a wonderful thing. It will teach him about loyalty, self-restraint, control. It will develop in him a sense of fair play, responsibility, and so many of the other qualities he just wouldn't need it if he stayed single. And I was so tempted to grab this opportunity to tell you all about some of Jay's past dirty deeds and misdemeanours. Unfortunately, I played a major incriminating part in most of these events, and I wouldn't want to tarnish my impeccable reputation. But as Jay said, I'm sure you agree, Gemma looks absolutely fantastic today.
Yes.
And you know, Jay knows a good opportunity when he sees one. You made a very wise decision today, mate. But Jay, on the other hand, so-so, you know, he looks okay, he's getting a bit squidgy around the old chops and that, but I'm also very surprised you copied my outfit today, mate. I think that was, you could have thought something yourself to wear. But no, seriously, Jay is handsome, he's witty, he's taller than he looks. So what's this? He works out, he has a great... What's this word, Jay? I can't read your handwriting there, mate. So how did I meet Jay? I first met Jay when he was just an 18-year-old floppy-haired geek. Myself and his uncle Matt worked in the now infamous Los Antiscos Apartments, which was a holiday resort in Menorca. And we basically spent a whole year there. Having a very jolly time, didn't we, Jay? And finish since your wedding day, I'll just put the brakes on there and leave it at that. But when we came back to the UK to get back in the rat race and get proper jobs, Jay came to live with me at my flat. And as I say, he held this position of head lodger for about 5 years. And this was despite many verbal warnings, and when necessary, the odd written warning. But sometimes you just have to accept the way that people are, and you know, if Jay wanted to fill his room with Brad Pitt posters, that was his business. You know. He told me it's because he admired his acting skills, but I did, however, insist that when we had guests, the cross-dressing, that was, you know, that had to stop. Despite all of this, having spent so much time with Jay over such a long period of time, I do feel partly responsible for the way that Jay's turned out and the man he's become. So, Gemma, I'm very, very sorry. Today I've been appearing free of charge, and I hope you found me worth every penny. I'm only up here for about another 60 seconds or so, so much as I'd like to save this 60 seconds for a rapturous applause for myself, I've composed a short poem that I think sums up marriage quite nicely. And I've called it a poem because parts of it very nearly rhyme, but not nearly enough. My 12-year-old needs helping with it, so don't worry though, it's good, it's all right. But it's about the perfect groom, which may be Jay, we'll have to wait and see. So here we go. The perfect groom is gentle, he's never harsh or mean, he has a lovely smile, and he keeps his face so clean. The perfect groom loves children and will raise them by your side. He will be a good father and a good husband to his bride. The perfect groom loves shopping and cooking and cleaning and cutting the grass, putting out the rubbish, and... Sorry, Gemma, what's this one? You're right, it's worse than Jay's, Gemma. It's terrible. The perfect groom will do anything in his power to prove his love for you. The perfect groom is romantic, writing poetry with your name. The perfect groom will be your best friend and never cause you pain. He will never make you cry or hurt you in any way. And Jay, if this stands to be true, I guess you really are gay.